for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered as a community meeting. There is one opportunity for public participation during the meeting, and comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. The board will listen to comments but may not respond during the meeting. If you wish to address the board, please submit a comment card immediately. Roll call, Ashanti Bland, Board President.
Good evening, Yvette Ware Duval, Vice President.
Good evening, Talisha Belk, Board Treasurer.
Good evening, Nicole Denson, Board Trustee.
Good evening, Chidi Inaji, Student Representative.
Good evening, Paris Whitman, Southfield Representative.
Good evening, Amani Johnson, Trustee.
And for the record, we have Trustee Smith Thomas has an excused absence. We hope that she feels better. And Trustee Jillian Holloway will be absent as well this evening. Dr. Green.
Good evening, Dr. Jennifer Green, Superintendent. Minutes being recorded by Ms. Carolyn Foster. Technical support being provided by M1 Studios, and members of the executive team joining us in the audience.
May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start off with board matters. Oh, okay.
That's a future bussy. That's a future bussy, baby.
Trustees, anybody have anything for board matters this evening?
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Much of us would like to just update the board as well as our community that we are looking at a couple of different items that I'm going to list quickly, and we'll bring them back for the Board of Trustees during a study session. We feel as though we look at the items that I'll list, as I mentioned, this will give us a lens into how we can educate our children. So for instance, AI, artificial intelligence, putting a framework around the use of AI, how our students are using it, making sure that everything is ethical in the use of it, as well as moving with technology and the platform that will assist them in their studies. We're actively seeking solutions as it relates to looking at improving our test scores through attendance and tardiness. We've reached out to a couple of our local neighboring districts just to see what they are currently doing in their policies. And as I mentioned, I'll give more details as this unfolds to our Board of Trustees, and we'll move forward, and I'll deliver more information at a later time. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to lift, if we could have something sent out on behalf of the district about scholars soliciting for funds at local retailers. I want to make sure that the community understands and we acknowledge that we do not have any of our scholars standing outside of grocery stores asking for money for trips that don't exist. So I would just like for us to send out something to let our community know that it's not how this district is soliciting funds. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Anything for board matters?
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
So I attended the CUBE conference recently, and I wanted to highlight a little bit about my experience there. It's the Council of Urban Boards of Education, so school boards that represent urban areas and cities. So two of the things I want to highlight are, the first was I attended a session called Where Innovation Meets Opportunity, creating a community-based opportunity hub. And it was about adaptive reuse of old buildings, vacant buildings, which is very relevant to us in this district. Their presentation began with a simple but powerful question. You've got all these old school buildings in your community. What are you going to do with them? That framed repurposing old facilities and turning challenges into opportunities. This was East Chicago, which was once a thriving industrial city, and they faced a lot of the same issues urban districts across the country have, declining industry, population loss. And instead of allowing these facilities to decay or paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for demolition, They chose to reimagine the school as a community opportunity hub, a space for workforce development, adult education, wraparound services, and community partnerships. And they worked with the mayor, local industries, and state agencies to turn this chapter in history into something really great for their community. And then the other piece is I did a site visit at the brand-new Compton High School, which was very cool. I participated in a half-day site visit, which this school opened this year, so it was the very first class to walk through the halls of this building, which was really cool. It was a $225 million campus, and it's one of the most advanced K-12 facilities in the country, designed to connect sustainability, equity, and community. Key features include flexible learning studios, hands-on CTE and STEM labs, and what they're calling a central academic boulevard, which physically connects the school to the surrounding community. They're prioritizing openness, natural light, and a feeling of belonging, avoiding fences and barriers on the campus while still prioritizing safety. And what stood out the most was the intentional design was around community use, similar to us in our campaign for our bond. The gym, auditorium, and outdoor academic plaza are all shared spaces open to the public after school hours. And it felt less like a school and more like a community hub. So as we move forward with new construction here in Southfield, both of these experiences reinforce how important these investments are. Thank you.
So I would like to give a big shout out to the district for their success during Count Day. We had 96% of our students show up on Count Day. So to our administrators, our parents, our students, thank you so much for showing up and showing out. We appreciate you. We look forward to servicing you throughout the rest of the year. Y'all still gotta come after that every day on time in your seats for the whole day. But we just thank you. We want to thank our staff here at the admin building. It was all hands on deck. To our instructional group, to our communications team, Tyler, James, the Avance team, to pupil accounting for doing such an amazing job of dishing the data out so quickly. We truly appreciate it. To the community, thank you so much. Being patient with our buses, being patient with getting everybody in and out the door. So I just wanted to show recognition to our building leaders and to our community for a great count day. The second thing that was lifted was the piece about attendance. So we're not just looking at how other districts do it, we're looking to change how we do it. For those of you who went to Southfield Public Schools that are ancient like myself, a certain amount of absences, you failed your class. A certain amount of tardies equaled an absence. There are other districts which we're compared to often that actually employ that same discipline. So I hope while everyone makes these comparative comments to us and other districts in Oakland County, we're going to grab some of the good stuff from them. And hopefully the parents will accept that and understand that as we fight to get our test scores where we want them to be, absenteeism plays a very large role in test scores. If your first hour is math and you miss it, or you're more than 10 minutes late or 30 minutes late every day consistently, 30 tardies, you've missed a month of class. How do you think you're prepared to take a test in October and you've missed September? So, we ask for grace because we are working extremely hard, and Dr. Green's going to give a presentation about that a little later on. I've also wanted to lift the AI piece. So, parents, your kids have Chromebooks that have Grammarly on them, right? We know Grammarly is AI. ChatGPT is AI. Summer Caldwell Carruthers is actually on, I'm going to call it a task force with other districts in the county looking at AI. So we're going to take some things from other districts and see how they're actually comparing how AI is being used to their policies on plagiarism. So while you should use it as a tool, it should not do the work for you. So I do want to say that to our parents, just if they're wondering, well, what does that mean for us? Because God knows AI helps me with this new math. I need it. But I'm just going, yeah, y'all, I'm honest. But we are going to set some parameters so we can make sure that we're using it with integrity. The last piece I want to lift is, and Dr. Green and Summer Caldwell Carruthers, you can help me with this. I've gotten a lot of calls about middle school and syllabus. So I've heard that in some schools, the syllabus is a standard, that every class should give one out, and then in other schools, they don't. I don't know what to tell anybody because I don't necessarily see a syllabus. And I'm old, and so when I got to 6th grade, that was part of our introduction to responsibility, right? It was, here's your syllabus for the year. And I would like to call out that I think that standard helps parents to understand where your child should be at what point in time in the year, the month, the week, whatever it is. Schoology is great, but having that piece of paper sometimes on the refrigerator helps. So I did want to call attention to that because if one more person stops me at Kroger while I'm trying to get my greens, and I gave them my word that I was going to say something about it, to the public, our instructional team is here. So everything that I'm saying, I can see them nodding their head and they will look into it. So that is my board matters. Oh, and all you retired teachers that want to come back, keep coming back. We appreciate y'all so much. I do appreciate the calls that we get from retired teachers who are looking to come back to the district. It helps a lot. So that's it for me. Dr. Green, anything in response?
It's the student board
It
member's
is,
turn,
but
but
you
before,
look like
we
you
were
were stewing
we
over
were
there.
scrambling for a moment because I was receiving text messages that the YouTube feed was not up, and that message that you had was so important. That's why we were scurrying to get the YouTube feed up and going. So I believe we're set now and operational. Okay, so
YouTube up?
it is.
That's my grandma calls it,
The YouTube. The
Okay.
YouTube is functional at this
So
time.
now we are going to make way for our reports of the student board representative. And like normal, we will let ladies go first. And Paris Whitman, representing Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology, you're up first. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Paris, and today I'll be representing and reporting for Southwood A&T. October has been a month of celebration, appreciation, and unity for our warrior family. We are proud to honor Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month and celebrate the culture and history of Indigenous communities in the United States of America. It's also National Principals Month, so we would like to thank our administrators for their continued leadership and support at all schools across the district. Lastly, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Many of our clubs and sports have raised awareness and shown support for those affected through Pink Out events. For October, these are the past and current highlights for Southwood High School for the Arts and Technology. I will first begin with a report on the sports at Southwood A&T. Our football warriors have been consistently playing with their heart and resilience every week. While they're still chasing their first win, they've stayed motivated and continue to improve. Jaden Ivey, Kenneth Brooks, and Tim Garr have all scored touchdowns recently. Their hard work and team support and team spirit are what make them true warriors. Their first Pink Out game in support of breast cancer awareness was October 3rd, but their next will be October 17th, the homecoming game. It has been said that it'll be a major event, and go support them this Friday wearing pink attire. Our sideline cheer team has been doing an incredible job keeping the energy high with lots of support from our football players and A&T supporters. They also hosted 30 future Warriors who cheered alongside the JV and varsity cheerleaders. The team recently teamed up with the Harper Woods cheer team for a unified performance. Our Warrior cheerleaders have shown the true meaning of teamwork and community. They're now preparing for their big performance for the homecoming halftime. The Marching Warriors have been truly outdoing themselves this season. Their field show performance at every home game has been full of energy, precision, and school spirit. The band's dedication and talent shine through with every note played and march taken, reminding us all that not only are they, but so are we, one band, one sound at Southwood A&T. The girls' volleyball team has had an exciting season so far. Both the JV and varsity teams have pulled off thrilling wins against Pontiac, Harper Woods, and Ferndale University. JV players Micah Thomas and Aaron Owens have been key players on the court, while varsity players Anaya Hardin-Thomas, Isabella Anderson, and Novera Muhammad have been major contributors to their success. The next big event is the Pink Out Game on October 16th, and we encourage everyone to show them support in their home court. The boys' tennis team just finished their season strong. Players Dominic Brantley and Trevor Byer closed out the year with back-to-back wins. Our girl golf team showed amazing improvement and competitiveness all season long, led by sophomore captain Kendall Evans. These girls really know how to hold their own and have built a strong foundation for next season. The season for the boys' soccer team started slow but showed major improvement with determination as games continued. Seniors Sheik Diop and Dawada, as well as their goalie Anthony, led the team to victory against Harper Woods. As fall sports begin to come to a close, we want to extend our pride in every athlete and coach who has represented our school with pride and determination. Now I'll begin with the leadership and activities highlights. Firstly, culinary students who attended the apple orchard trip picked apples and used them to make fillings for a variety of holiday pies, including apple, sweet potato, pumpkin, and cherry. These pies will be sold for Thanksgiving to raise money for future events. The culinary students also prepared and sold apple turnovers on October 3rd to donate to Forgotten Harvest's food bank. These chefs and other CTE students will volunteer again on November 20th to help fill food boxes for families in need for Forgotten Harvest. Our chefs have also had the opportunity to participate in the Michigan National Guard EMR Challenge, where they were given real Army nations to create full meals. Teachers judged the dishes made by these chefs, which allowed them to test their problem-solving skills and teamwork abilities in a fun and creative way. After going through the grueling process of elections, with essays and interviews done, 7 students have officially been selected by advisors Ms. Dunn and Ms. Brown-Perkins as this year's Business Professionals of America Executive Board. Congrats to President Layla Arrington, Vice President of Communications Gabrielle McNutt, the Vice President of Community Service Armani Davis, the Vice President of Fundraising and Treasurer Uche Audi, the Vice President of Membership Paris Whitman, the Secretary Addison Spears, and the Parliamentarian Silas Gator for stepping up to lead. BPA's executive leaders will attend the Fall Leadership Conference on October 21st to sharpen their leadership skills and learn how to better prepare for the school year. The first general meeting will be held during A&B lunch on October 22nd and is open to anyone interested. Come see what BPA has to offer. Applications are open for a cost of $50. The National Honor Society applications are now open. Students in grades 10 through 12 with at least a 3.0 GPA and good citizenship can apply. Applications are due October 17th at a cost of $40. The National Honor Society attended the Michigan Youth and Government Leadership Conference on October 14th, where they learned how to lead through service and advocacy. The National Honor Society and Student Council are hosting a club fair this month for students to give them a chance to learn about and join clubs. Their goal is to help students get involved and connected with peers who share similar interests. Esports is off to an exciting start under Ms. Ball's leadership. The team has been training hard and building strong communication and strategy for their upcoming matches, and already have a few wins under their belt. It has been a long time since our school has had a powder puff game, but thanks to Mr. Green, the senior class advisor, and the class of 2026, it has finally made a comeback. The stands were full, the energy was off the charts, and the game ended in a tie, although the seniors might argue otherwise. Senior player number 9, Gabrielle McNutt, stood out especially, with everyone commenting on how lightning fast she was. She made herself a crowd favorite. The Warrior Den, our school store, is selling senior jerseys. Students can purchase them on GoFan until October 17th. Let me now tell you about the academic highlights. We've had several opportunities for college and career exploration this month. Students visited Wayne State and other universities through the C2 Pipeline program. This trip lasted several days and gave students the genuine college experience while also learning about which college they're most interested in. Other exciting events this month include the College and Career Fair on October 21st and the STEM Day on October 27th, which will be held in collaboration with CTE classes and the Career Center. We also want to thank our Count Day sponsors, Starbucks, Green Lantern, Chick-fil-A, Hungry Howie's, and Dave's Hot Chicken, for providing coffee and gift cards to teachers and students. On October 9th, Gear Up provided FAFSA and college resources for seniors in the Media Center to help students stay on track for college applications and post-secondary goals. Parent-teacher conferences were today, October 14th, and in person. Parents got to converse about their students' grades before the end of the card marking, which is October 28th. PTSA dates have been rescheduled for the end of the month, with 10th graders on the 22nd, 11th graders on the 23rd, and 9th graders on the 28th. Thank you for listening.
Trustees, any questions? Thank you, Paris.
Thank you.
And next is our student rep from University K-12, Shidi Nanjandi.
Thank you for introducing me.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chidi Naji. I know it's been an extremely long time since we talked. Some of you may not recognize me, some do. An entire month, to be precise. But the thing that you would learn about the U is that a lot of things can happen in a month. Okay, so we had 2 admission officers from the University of Michigan come to our school to teach students about how admission workers make decisions. Even though those charges may be old, that does not mean their race is over. Senior night, the parent night was another example of us continuing that race. We were preparing for that race to come. We discussed different types of ways to pay for college, whether that may be student loans, aid, or grants. We also talked about how to apply for schools and different admission types for colleges, like the difference between a binding and non-binding admission. It may be boring, but they need it. Our middle school horses have succeeded in their own ways, with our Lady Chargers having amazing wins this season. The 5th and 6th grade teams are now 2-1, and our awesome 7th and 8th grade teams are undefeated with a record of 3-0. Our middle schoolers not only have success in courts, but in the classroom too. In Dr. Wilson's 8th grade class, students are using reverse images of their house shoes to create patches on their jeans. They will decorate their jeans with fabric paints and rhinestones to be able to wear on future house Fridays and for future house functions. Carly, an 8th grader, led her class on fertilizing Fridays in Ms. Barrett's class, where she taught her peers crocheting and how it connected to science. Something I don't think I can even do. Horses come in many breeds. Chargers, at least the ones in our school, come in many colors. Our elementary school students learn what those mean, from kindness to success and even unity. Because there's nothing a charger loves more than showing school spirit. There's a saying that has been told to me since I was a colt. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Well, we at the U don't have any dull horses. For count day, we had 98% attendance with 100% accounted for by the end of the week. So we threw a silent party for them where kids were able to listen to different music and do different dances as a motivator for next year. Our parent-teacher conferences went extremely well. The amount of horses I saw could fill a barn. While our school is great, there are some people I want to acknowledge, people that encompass the definition of a charger. People like Anaya. Anaya came into the 3rd grade shy, but in just 2 months, she has really found herself and came into her own. She's currently speaking up whenever she's called on. Then we have Elise, who has become a true leader of the pack. She knows the importance of the education with her ability to lead class decisions, all while just being an 8th grader. Lastly, there's Layla, who decided to change the world by doing an internship with our Michigan House Representative, Rashida Tlaib. We as chargers believe charging into the future. But as you know, charging things is very dangerous without a plan. Our current plans start with the end of the first lap. The end of the can marking is October 28th, like she said, so make sure those horses only get high marks. 4 bashes on October 29th. The FAFSA has opened, so make sure to fill it out. Remember, the earlier you do it, the more money you can get. Early decision deadline is November 1st. Make sure your young adults have filled out those applications. The first half of senior dues are due in December. Cap and gown photos will be on November 6th. Thank you for entertaining me.
Great job to you both. Love those Chargers. Does anyone have any questions for Chidi? Hearing none, you guys did such a great job, very entertaining, lots of information. Thank you for including the information that the FAFSA is open to our parents. We do have resources within the buildings for the U, Check Your U Scoop, Southfield A&T. I know they often have a workshop for FAFSA, so I'm sure they'll be having that soon, and we'll get the dates out as soon as possible. But parents, the earlier you start, the better it is. So thank you both for your reports. You are welcome to stay, and today you do have packets. If you need to go home and get some work done or whatever else you need to do, please feel free to leave now. If not, you can stay. Dr. Green, I believe that report of the superintendent is next.
That is such a hard act to follow.
It is.
I don't have a slide deck, but I do have a few videos, and more importantly, we have amazing partners and amazing staff here. So I'd like to transition to that of recognizing our partner of the month and our employee of the month, and then I want to go into something a little different, which is a student recognition, and I've not had that on the agenda before, so I'd like to talk about that as well. But before we get into that, let's talk about our partner of the month. This is a person that everyone sees throughout the entire district, is there at the games, was there on opening day, even won a prize at the school. Uh-oh, wait, do we have the video? We have the person.
I'm sure we got a video.
I hear the music. I don't see the audio. Well, while we're waiting on the video to come forward, everyone please join me in welcoming
Hi, my name is Phil
Santana
Curran.
to
I'm
come
the Director of
up and
Operations for
receive a
Southfield.
long overdue award. Santana saw me coming down the hall and turned and went the opposite direction. This is long overdue. Thank you for all that you do for this entire district and this entire community. Please join us here for a quick photo, and then you can say, thank you. Smalls and talls. We don't really have too many smalls today. We don't have too many smalls today, so I said, Paris, can you come join me, smalls and talls? Make me feel better. Come on. You wanna play? Bring the baby. Bring the baby. Oh, okay. Kids are Celeste, baby. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. Oh, got you. All right, all right. Yay. You can say a few words. Just play it. Yeah, you can start the video.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to the board, to the district, Joe, Dr. Green, giving me the opportunity to help you guys with the school building facilities. That's what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, excellent.
Hi, my name is Phil Curran. I'm the Director of Operations for Southfield Public Schools, and it's my honor to recognize Santana Whitaker as our Partner of the Month. We recognize Santana for all her hard work. Santana has been with the district ever since her company GDI took over the account. Santana started out as a custodian and has worked her way up the ranks to lead account executive. It's no surprise, Santana is a hard worker and we recognize her. Thanks, Santana.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. Why are you looking up, Santana? Yeah, why she here with these balloons? Last time she was here with some balloons, she was surprising someone as a partner of the month.
Yes.
And guess who it is this month?
Oh,
You.
okay.
Well deserved. And long overdue.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate you. You were nominated by Phil and Joe and everyone that I stated that I was coming to surprise you. They said long overdue and well deserved.
I appreciate it. Thank
We
you. Thank you,
appreciate
Southfield.
you.
Thank you.
We are fortunate to have you on the team. That's right.
My team, I thank y'all. I thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You know, pause that. As a district, our primary goals are to ensure that everyone is educated in a clean, safe, and healthy environment. And through individuals such as Santana, we are able to do that. So again, Santana, we thank you. And the other team members that were here to support you this evening, we thank them for being here as well. The next individual has a lot to celebrate because I understand that this individual is a newlywed and just came back from a honeymoon. And then we had an opportunity to surprise her as the employee of the month, having just returned. And this nomination is extremely important because this came from one of our parents. So if you would, please run the video, and then we will welcome up Triana Williams.
Hello, I nominate Triana Williams for Employee of the Month due to her hard work and dedication. She's an amazing secretary. She's always there early, on time, taking on extra tasks, and always willing and have that ear for the children when they need to talk, have advice, or just want to be able to have someone to listen to them. She's an amazing secretary and will be a great teacher. That's why she decided to get her degree in early childhood education. So with all of that, that's why I feel that she will be a great candidate for Employee of the Month. She's always helping her nieces and nephews, as well as her younger brother, to strive to be the best that they can and complete school. Everyone looks up to her, and she's always encouraging.
Miss Triana. Hi. How are you? I understand you just came back from a honeymoon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm also here to congratulate you as the Employee of the Month. You were nominated by a parent who said you have superb customer service and she truly appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
that you did to assist, so thank you on
Thank
behalf of the
you.
school district. And you saw Miss Denham in the back. She wanted everyone to know that that's her secretary.
I just want to say thank you. I don't do it for a check. I don't do it just because. I do it because I do love the kids. And I make a huge impact between turnaround changing their grades, them opening up to me, or, the Shaw to be house. So that's what I do it for.
Thank you. And from our amazing adults to our amazing scholars, the next young lady I'd like to recognize, she's not here this evening. She is a fifth grade student at Adler Elementary, and we often talk about our leaders, particularly those at the high school level, and miss out on recognizing some of our younger scholars. In a conversation with Principal Dean, she mentioned to me that a young lady, fifth grader, brought a kindergarten student to the office and essentially told the office, I don't recognize this young person as being one who takes the bus. Can someone please call their parent and ask if this child is indeed scheduled to ride the bus? This is a fifth grader, so all of maybe 10 years of age. Sure enough, they called the office called the home of the child to find out that this young person was not scheduled to ride the bus. Imagine the trauma that that family would have incurred had this young 5-year-old gotten on the bus and had gone to the wrong destination. So I'd like to recognize Miss Asia Potter for her exceptional leadership at such a very young age, and I look forward to the day that she sits in the student board rep seat so she can start her application now and be prepared for you when she becomes a senior. So thank you, Principal Dean, and thank you to the other individuals that developed the leadership there.
Good job, Asia.
As you heard mentioned once before, October is National Principal Recognition Month, and we have amazing,
bless you.
We have amazing principals throughout the entire district. So I would like to just take a moment to show everyone on the screen who make us smile every day, who make our scholars smile every day as they enter the building. The principal's jobs are not easy, and we'll have a presentation later relative to the test scores. From the top of the district all the way to the classroom, our role, as I stated, is to provide clean, safe, healthy environments, be fiscally responsible, ensure that we have aligned curriculums, and ensure that instruction is occurring in every classroom. The principals do that. They are responsible for the culture and climate of their buildings, and many are going above and beyond to ensure that this is happening. Okay, Summer, come back up with the technical support to ensure that this beautiful collage of principals is now on the screen. There you have from every building representing our youngest scholars, Dr. Ursula Kelly Wash, our elementary principals, Principal Tanya Hickman, Principal Alma Dean, Principal Orlando Bogans. Our K-8 buildings, you have Principal Tierra Baldwin, Assistant Principal Kim Pritchett, you have Portia Eubanks, along with Deanna Ector, you have Sonia Jackson, James Miller, and then at the high school, you have from A&T. Would you like to share their names, Paris?
We have Principal Reese, and we have 3 assistant principals. We have Miss Kagans, Miss Denham, and Miss Patterson.
And Chidi, would you like to share from the U?
Sorry, but I wasn't ready for that. We got Principal.
You eating candy?
Oh, sorry. I'm jumping in. My apologies.
No problem.
Well, I will share that while you're finishing that, you, at KLC, we have Dr. Ellen George serving our scholars there at KLC. Did that give you enough time, or you want me to come back with the other?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
We have Principal Dean Slade, we have Principal Dean Sanford, and we have Principal Dean
Dr. Howard.
Dr. Howard. I didn't know how to say her name. Thank you. And the last principal is a K-5 teacher, who is Principal Dean
Sakina Bolden.
Bowden.
Dean Bolden, thank you for that. And while we're on the topic of the amazing principals that we have, if you could change the slide, we'd like to recognize one of our principals in particular who has been nominated as High School Principal of the Year, and that is none other than Mr. David Reese. So let me state that the Michigan High School, the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals takes nominations from all over the state of Michigan, and this encompasses both middle school and high school principals, again, throughout the entire state, and there are 3 finalists, and of those 3, Mr. Reese is representing Southfield Public Schools and Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. So, Mr. Reese, we wish you well. To be nominated is one thing, but you are the winner in our book each and every day. So I wanted to share that with everyone. Again, please give him a round of applause. Okay. And Summer, since you've been up here
Poor Summer.
several times, you've gotten all your steps today, come on back and join us. Summer's going to share some highlights with our community relative to our academic data, but then she's also going to transition into our plans on how we plan to approach our deficiencies, our gaps, and what is working in our district to move our scholars forward.
And before Summer comes up, I do want to say a couple of things. So the academic data that so many parents and members of the staff sent out to us that was published, we do want to say moving forward, we will be more transparent with getting that information to you. Ms. Caldwell Carruthers is going to try to explain how this works when it first hits our desks and kind of some of the stop gaps that we have in actually getting you the full information. But I believe that we have a plan moving forward. So when this comes out next year, we can get you what we have when we get it, right? Thank you so much.
And she's joined by Ms. Daniels. I didn't realize she would be joining her this evening. All right, Vanna. Ladies, the floor is yours.
Good evening. I'm Summer Caldwell Carruthers, the Executive Director of Instruction for Southfield Public Schools.
And I am Venice Daniels, the Data and Assessment Coordinator.
And so we're going to go over the data and assessment for Southfield Public Schools. So I just want to go quickly about how the data is released. We take the M-STEP in the College Board in April and May. And as we are taking the assessment, scores start to come back to the district around May, but it's not the entire scores. They're just the multiple choice and they're embargoed. And so what that means is we cannot release it to the public. The only people that can have access to the scores is district officials. So that would be like myself, the superintendent, the deputy, the school principals. We have the opportunity to start reviewing the scores as they're coming in, but they're not all, it's not all of the scores because they did not grade the writing part yet. And so the MDE, which is the Michigan Department of Education, has an embargo until a certain date in August or September. We never know what the date is. It's usually when they send a newsletter out or send an email and say, okay, it's lifted for the public now. And so if we miss that email, we don't know it's lifted for the public. There's still data that has not been released and will be released in November, and that's called the school index. That's when we would get the overall state average. What you guys saw was the state average for third grade and the state average for fourth grade. That's all that you saw on that Oakland County Times. And so I just want to let you guys know that once we are able to, usually once we are able to know that the date is released, we do release the data, but it was August 27th and Oakland County Times released it right after that. So we didn't even get an opportunity to get it to all of our parents. We're still waiting on MDE to send us the parent reports. We don't have all of the parent reports to send home. We can print them, but they usually send us, so we don't have to print them. So I just wanted to give a little background knowledge on that. So quickly, for M-STEP, we take M-STEP 3rd through 8th grade and 11th grade. Third grade and 4th grade takes ELA and math. 5th grade takes ELA, math, science, and social studies. 6th and 7th grade takes ELA and math. 8th grade takes college board. So they take PSAT 8 for ELA and math, and they take M-STEP for science and social studies. 11th grade takes everything. So they take SATs for ELA and math, and they take M-STEP for science and social studies. So this is our district average, and I put a comparison up so that you can see where we were in 2024 and where we are currently in 2025. This is our 2024-2025 math, M-STEP, PSAT 8, and SAT scores. And so what you would see in the green is advanced and proficient, yellow is partially proficient, and red is not proficient per each grade level. The same for ELA, science, and social studies. So PSAT 9 and PSAT 10 is not used for accountability. What that means is they do not use those scores in our overall average, but they give us the score so that we know where we are in 9th and 10th grade so that we can prepare for the SATs in 11th grade. This is PSAT 9th and 10th for ELA. And for the third grade reading law. So a couple years back, there was a third grade reading law that implemented, and if third graders do not receive a 1272 or higher, they did not meet the minimum standards in literacy. And if they did not meet the minimum standards in literacy, then your parents received a letter from MDE in July. And so 59.7% of our third graders district-wide met it, 40.3% need support. And so part of the third grade reading law, what we have to do is give a benchmark assessment 3 times a year, and we give iReady. And then after the iReady, we have to identify students that will have to be on an individual reading plan. And so last year, we had 569 students between K-3 that was on an individual reading plan. This year, we have 283 students that's on an individual reading plan. So we are making some progress.
That deserves,
Yeah.
that deserves celebration.
And this is the first time that we ever had 200 anything. It's always been in the 5s. So we are making progress. Some of the highlights that we have, that we pulled out of the data, 6th, 7th, and 11th grade scores has increased from last year. Social studies scores have increased from last year in all 3 grade levels. 11th grade science increased by 11%. Eighth grade ELA is the highest proficiency for the second year in a row in the district. And partially it's because in eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th, and 11th, we give PSATs in the fall. So we're getting ready. Ms. Daniels is getting ready to take all of our eighth graders and up through the SAT and PSAT program this month. So if you have a child in the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, they will be taking PSATs. We pay for that because we want students to be able to see the exam before April. And I do think that that makes a difference, and it helps students to know what's on the test and how to study. We do have some instructional barriers that we've been working through, and so these are some of the instructional barriers that we are working through as a district. Making sure that parent engagement stay increased. We need you parents. Come to parent-teacher conference, ask questions to your teachers, come into family engagement. It matters. Surrounding districts have other resources that we don't necessarily have at this point. They send their students to Kumai. They have private tutors. And so we're combating that. So when you see scores from other districts, that is number one, know that these students do have private tutors. They go to Kumai, they go to Sylvan. That happens. Some of the other barriers, attendance, as board president mentioned earlier, we have to get our students in school on time every day. It matters. It matters. If they're not there, they won't be exposed to grade level content, which means that they won't be able to even answer the questions when it's time to take the test. And so these are just a few. I'm not going to go through all for lack of time. We do have an instructional plan. The instructional team works extremely hard. They review data all the time. And we create plans. And one of our plans is we're getting ready to start after school tutoring. That's getting ready to start district-wide. Some of the other things we are doing are we increased our MTSS process, which is when students are struggling, what do we do? And so we have a plan. Our teachers know the plan. And so we have strengthened that. We're doing some pilots across the district of new K-5 ELA for 2 of our schools. We're doing professional development to help our students and our teachers know how to increase student engagement and student voice within the classroom. It's Professional Development Day tomorrow.
And Summer, before you go off of professional development, it's important to note that without 75% of attendance by the staff for Professional Development Day, that date has to be made up. So
Correct.
it is imperative that staff too attend these professional development opportunities.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Green. And so that is the end of the data presentation. What questions do you have for us?
You said that we are going to start running our 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders through PSAT next month?
This month.
This month?
Yes.
Do we already have the dates out to
Yes.
the schools?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have the schools pushed them out to the parents?
Yes, the assessment calendar has been out since July.
Thank you very much. And if a parent needed to find the assessment calendar, would they go to their school's website or
I
can
would
they
go,
find
I
it
would talk to
on
the
our-
school because the district gives a guideline.
Okay.
But I think it's,
All the principals have.
you want to give the dates?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so 8th and 9th grade PSAT date is October 28th. For 11th graders, they take it on October 23rd. 10th graders take it on October 21st. Yep.
I also wanted to state, when we talk about test scores, and this is just an accountability piece, to our building leaders, if you have books that the district has purchased and those books haven't made it into the hands of our students, it's a problem. If you want parents to engage, oftentimes we're old school. We need some type of help other than, seeing the problem, if we could refer to the book. And some of our kids could use the supplementation, and we pay for it. So if we pay for it, it's expected to be used. You can only expect our students to do so much with what they have, and without tools, you can't build. So if you have the tools in your building, the board has approved it, we paid the money, it's been delivered, and it hasn't made it to the hands of those who should be using it, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. And so we would appreciate it if you do have supplementation, books, tools, anywhere other than where they should be, and that's with our scholars, students, and teachers. Please get it to them ASAP. Furthermore, to our teachers, building leaders, we have some of you that just are impeccable, but there's also a standard in this district for everyone who works here to show up as well. And that's just an honest conversation, right? Because parents come to us when their students have a sub for a week. Or if I make a call to Dr. Green and say, hey, is everything okay with this teacher? And it's something that's chronic. And of course, we're not going to offend anyone because everybody has something going on. But please remember that educating our kids is important. So I just want to make sure that we put the onus where it should be. And to our building leaders, thank you, right? Because we know some of you operate with a lot of effectiveness. You're doing the best that you can. This isn't to come down on anyone, but we definitely know that there are improvements that we can make as a district, and it's not just the test scores, it's how we get there, right? It's a cumulative effort. Everybody plays their part. We are going to be monitoring this as a board a little more closely to understand what we can do, what policies, and that's where the attendance policy is coming from, to help everyone out. And if you need help, there's a lot of assistance that can be had. So to the parents, please know that we do have resources. Even if you can't find them, give us a call. We'll help you out. Did anyone else have any questions or
Through the
comments?
chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the information, Ms. Crothers and Ms. Daniels. At any time, years gone by, there was a waiver that was available to take the PSA SAT testing outside of our schools if you were receiving free and reduced lunch, and I know that's what the norm is now. But when we filled out the information, a lot of parents were able to get the waiver, and they could sign up through College Board to also have their student test, starting in the 9th grade, which is imperative because a lot of our neighboring districts have their students testing outside of our schools. Do you know if that is still available?
To my knowledge, it's still available. They can see their counselors for the waivers.
Okay.
But that would be outside of the school day. That would be on their
Right,
own.
right.
But we as a district pay for it in the
Yes.
fall for
Everybody.
everyone. And that is
Understood.
an additional opportunity for them to learn, and then we test them again in the spring to give them that benchmark. The other piece that I wanted to add regarding AI, a lot of our scholars think that if they use AI to help them with the practice tests, then they will have this information for the regular assessment, and that is where the largest gap is regarding the AI conversation. So we want to make sure that we embed that into our policies as we move forward with that.
Through the chair. One last question. You mentioned tutoring, and how soon will that be present for our scholars and parents to take advantage of that?
I'm working soon as possible.
I signed off on it today.
I would say I'm aiming for the end of this month or November. I'm just
Yeah, I
trying to
signed
go
off
through the paperwork, but
Okay.
yes.
And to our community and parents, our children are our biggest and our most loving investment. This is not a plug for Kumon or Sylvan, but when you need extra supports outside of our schools, please take a look at some of those other organizations or even our D9s that offer those opportunities for our students. Please take advantage of them.
Thank you so much. I know you're staying up here because you have another
I do.
presentation.
So the next presentation is on Summer Discovery Program. We had a massive summer program this summer, and I just want to report out on the fabulous things that happened. These are our children, and all throughout this presentation, you're going to see our children, a video of our children throughout the summer. And as I was creating this presentation, I would say I was just smiling the whole entire time because these children definitely made my heart smile. They had an amazing time this summer, and I had an amazing time working with them this summer. So Summer Discovery is a program. We received a grant from the Bomber Group, United Way, and Building Impact, and it's called Summer Discovery. And this is our second year receiving the Summer Discovery grant. And so it provided engaging academic opportunities and also enrichment opportunities for our scholars. We had the largest summer school this year. So we had 3 sites this year. The first time we had 3 sites. So Bernie was the elementary K4, KOC was the ESY, and A&T housed the middle 5th through 8th grade students. These were our fabulous Summer Discovery leaders. These ladies, Principal Baldwin, A.D. Slade, and Miss Diana Shepno ran our Summer Discovery programs, and I'm just really, really happy. They did an amazing job, so I just wanted to highlight our leaders. So we had record enrollment. We had 950 students registered to attend summer school, and I had to cut it off. If I would have let it go on, we would have more. And we had a 77% attendance rate.
So Summer, people
Yes,
are
ma'am.
already asking, when does the registration open up for next summer? Because we do anticipate receiving this grant again, and
Yes.
parents are already asking about summer programming.
So it will open up the first week in March, and it will close May 1st.
Okay.
So that is the regular
March
routine.
First week of March, it closes May 1st. I know y'all all got our phone numbers. Don't call us on May 2nd. We are gonna block y'all, because there's nothing we can do.
And let me explain why we have to close it so early. We have a lot of contracts that we have to execute, and we have to do it based on the number of students that we have. We have to let transportation know how many students that will be riding the bus. We have to let SFE know how many students that will be eating every day. And we can't do that if we allow registration to happen all the way up into the first day. We have enrichment vendors that we have to pay contracts to that is based on student count. And so we have to close it down earlier so that we can execute all of our contracts. So this is some of the parent feedback that we received from Summer Discovery. 90% of the parents rated the Summer Discovery communication great. They said that their scholars enjoyed the program. They rated the child's learning experience good or better, and it was a great overall experience. This was some of the feedback that they wrote on the surveys. I was very impressed. Well, I don't want to read to you all, but you can read it. But you know, they love the enrichment. They love the academics. We had a large staff turnout that came to teach Summer Discovery. While they could have been enjoying their summer, they was here with us teaching Summer Discovery. And I'm really happy, and I just want to say thank you to the staff that did stay and use their summer to teach Summer Discovery. So the purpose of the program, we had some requirements for the grant. And so the grant required that we had 3 hours of academics a week, but we, of course, had more than that. They wanted 3 hours of ELA and 3 hours of math a week. Well, we had at least minimum 90 minutes a day, which equals way more than the 3 hours that they were asking us for. We also included electives for our students. We had mindfulness every day. They had yoga. We had enrichment. So this was a day in the life of a Summer Discovery student. They had really healthy, good food, because the kids love the food. They said that in the survey. And then we did academics in the morning and enrichment in the afternoon. And so we had all of our vendors come in the afternoon, and we had various vendors. This was some of our young people that was doing the project-based learning. That was the biggest thing for this year. Every grade level did project-based learning. So what we did, for our students is we took the winter iReady scores and we split our kids up into 3 groups: our innovative group, our explorer group, and our adventurer group. And then was based on their academics, their iReady scores. And then we selected projects that they could do, each group could do, and the kids loved it. Now, the teachers were apprehensive in the beginning because it was new, but at the end, they came around and they did like it. And so these were some of the things that the kids were doing, measuring. We had ESY was doing projects. And then we had themes for each grade level. So kindergarten theme was learning through play. That was our enrichment theme. First and second grade was arts and craft and enrichment. Third grade was mentorship. So we had mentorship groups for all of our third grade. Fourth grade was digital explorers. Fifth grade was entrepreneurship, so they had to create their own business plan, and actually present it to the class. And then they had feedback from real business owners. Sixth and seventh grade was mindfulness in sports, self-esteem and skincare. We had high school and college readiness. And so based on our on the Bomber Group, United Way, and Building Impact, we were one of the premier programs. They met with me several times after the program just to find out more information about our program. And they're always, asking us for feedback because they really like the way we run our program. We were invited to Little Caesars Arena in the next, I think it's next week or the week after next, or maybe it's November. I got to look at my calendar. But they invited us to Little Caesars Arena to attend the Summer Discovery Appreciation Program. They did also invite us to apply again next year. Yeah. So this year was new. We did a student showcase at the end of the summer so that the parents could come in and see some of the projects and some of the things that the kids were learning. These were some of our projects. I just took some of the pictures. And I made a collage of various projects that the kids were doing, and it was based on their grade level and their ability level. I didn't see my video. So we do want to give a special thank you to the Bomber Group, Building Impact, and United Way for granting us this grant and this opportunity for our students. We also want to give a special thank you to all of our vendors. These were all of our vendors from Summer Discovery. It takes a lot of people to run this program. It's a lot of moving pieces. And then thank you to everyone in the district that has definitely just rolled up their sleeves and helped, from the instructional team. I am very much in debt to you. Operations team, no one told me no. Everyone said, Summer, we got it, and so I just want to say thank you for that. And then a video was created by the way of Mrs. Denise Bush of the Summer Discovery. And I do want to play at least the first half of it, because what it does is the students and the teachers talking about what they learned and how they felt about the program. Miss Carolyn, you can just click the link.
Hi, my name is Logan Stokes, and I'm from Stevenson. What I like about summer school is that we get to do a lot of activities and fun things.
Hi, my name is Joy. I go to university, and what I liked about Summer Discovery was making new friends.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Forsyth. I teach here at Bernie, where summer school is being held. I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I also had the opportunity this summer to teach rising first graders, been able to follow this STEM-based curriculum and read these books and kind of tie them to what our STEM activities are. And the kids have done such a nice job being creative.
Hi, my name is Kim Panza, and I am a first grade teacher at Bernie K-8 through the regular school year, but I had the opportunity to teach first graders going into second grade at summer school this year. And we got to do a lot of STEM activities where we read a book, and then we had a project that went with it, actually 2 projects. and the kids did a great job being creative. They took hold of their own project, did what they wanted, and they were very successful this summer. Hi, I'm Aretha Bradley. I am a speech therapist during the school year at Stevenson Elementary. However, this summer I had an opportunity to go in a different direction by teaching second grade with the project-based learning here at Bernie K-8. And one of the things that I really loved about this program, not only because it's hands-on, but it really got the students to be thinkers.
Hello, I am Ms. R. Williams. I am a 5th grade teacher from University K-12 Academy. However, this summer, I had the opportunity to work with rising 3rd graders, and believe me, it was phenomenal. Those kids really enjoyed the opportunity to explore and do new things, and they were very, very open about how they felt, what they wanted to do.
My name is Katana, and I came from Stevenson Elementary School. And I had so much fun because I get to see all my teachers from my school. And the fun part that I got to see is I went bowling, and I got 2 things. My name is Taylor Sims. I'm from Stevenson Elementary School. Some stuff I liked about the summer discovery program is that we did projects, we didn't work in any workbooks, and I love the staff, the students, and the people.
Hi, I'm Tracy Moorhead. I taught 4th grade here this summer, and I think the project-based learning was excellent. It gave the children the time to use their imagination and explore outside of traditional classroom academics.
Hi, I'm Teresa Punchoff. I'm a 5th grade teacher here at Bernie, and this summer I taught the rising 5th graders. So it's been a really great experience. We did project-based learning. One of our units taught students how to debate each other, and the other unit taught them to think about the importance of taking care of the Earth's resources versus finding a possible solution out in space, like colonizing Mars. It gave the students a chance to really collaborate with each other, learn to communicate about their different ideas, and do a lot of problem solving.
Hi, my name is Kevin, and what I liked about summer school was that we got to do lots of things, and one of them was a catapult, and another one of them was an art bot.
Hi, I am Mrs. Lockridge. I teach at Adler, and for summer school, I taught 4th grade, which is also the grade that I teach at Adler. I enjoyed the PBL, project-based learning, during the summer discovery program. It helped me to teach out the box, and it gave the kids a different perspective and viewpoint for hands-on learning, and they got to work with their classmates much more than they would during a regular school lesson.
Hi, I'm Lisa Jackson. I'm the Thompson K-8 teacher. I normally teach 2nd grade, and I taught 2nd grade this past summer. I did enjoy the PBL. I love that my students came together from all different schools across the district, and they figured it out. I said one time, collaborate, and that was it.
And so that was just a little insight to our staff and our students for summer discovery. The biggest thing I really enjoyed was to see the confidence of the students. When I went to Ron Clark Academy, those students were our students. It was the same students, how they interact. And I saw that in summer discovery. So I just want to share it a little bit with you all. What questions do you have for me?
Trustees, any questions? Oh, good job.
Thank you so much.
Next joining us, we have the team from First Student to give us an update on transportation.
Wanted to introduce Chris Schumann's replacement. Going forward will be Benjamin Newsom. So Ben is here tonight along with Maurice, and they'll talk about some of the the updates we discussed last month, countermeasures of issues that are going on in transportation, and they'll talk a little bit about where they're at with headcount and contract negotiations with their organized group. So I'll turn it over to you, gentlemen.
Me first? Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the time. 10 minutes?
10 minutes, please.
All right. I'll talk fast. 5 minutes? Okay. I'll talk really, really fast. Maurice has a detailed update about the move. That's probably a little bit more important. So just some high-level stuff, kind of an update on where we are so far this year. Obviously, a student is much more than just a number, and one late bus is one too many. But the data does speak to overall how we're doing. So just some high-level numbers. We'll start with the union update. You guys know we've been in negotiations for a while. We had a full tentative agreement last week. They vote tomorrow. So we're very excited and optimistic that tomorrow we will get our union contract ratified. So excited about that. Current staffing numbers, we have 57 routes. We have 65, we'll call them full-time drivers right now. We are not short-staffed. Obviously, the attendance that you see across the industry and all industries hits us a little bit. So we need to get a few more than what we have. That's not counting our leave of absences or our what we call casual or sub-drivers. So we do have one driver currently on the road in training and a few more in the pipeline. And just briefly on training, so state of Michigan has very little requirements as far as training to be a bus driver. If you can pass the background and the drug screen and physical, get a permit, wait 2 weeks, sign up for a test, you can be a bus driver. Not for us. So for us, you're in class for 15 hours, you're doing skills for 7 to 12 hours, then you're on the road for 15 to 17 hours before you even get to take the test. So our training program is the best in the industry by far. So when we do need somebody, it does take us longer than you would see at in-house district down the road. And then there's also 6 hours of special needs training that's required after that as well. And then throughout the year, monthly safety meetings, student management training, and all those things that Maurice and his team will do during the year. Support-wise, recruiting-wise, we have a dedicated recruiting and hiring specialist here in Michigan. It ensures 100% compliance for bus drivers. So anybody that gets behind the wheel has been fully vetted, background check, drug screen, all that stuff. We also have an area safety manager, an area training manager. They are my peers. If I'm the operations person, we have one dedicated just for safety in Michigan, one for training. And we also have a senior certified trainer that goes from location to location and trains our trainers to make sure that they're doing their job. Some quick numbers right now, 3,400 students are routed to our buses. We make about 900 bus stops a day, so branch it out for the year, we've made about 30,000 bus stops, transported 231,000 kids so far this year. Our on-time percentage, again, this is high level, 9,000 and some arrivals across all of our buses to all of our buildings. We're at 95%. Some are not that good, and I know Maurice and his folks are working on that. Some are better than that, but overall, 95% on time up to this point so far this year. And then lastly, I think for me, unless there's any questions, the EV update, engineering walkthrough was last week. I know Joe's very involved in that. DTE is going to be out next week. We're pretty excited about that. The bus is almost here. It should be in a couple more months. Obviously, there's been some delays with supply chain and stuff. But we are really, really excited about the EV project here in Southfield. So Joe's been great to work with, everybody on the Southfield side. You guys have been great partners for a long time. We look forward to that. You know, there was some budget stuff. There was a bit of a shortfall in there somewhere. And again, we were honored to be able to pick up that 50 to 70K that it ended up being short. And again, that's a compliment to you guys and the partnership that we have. So I think that's it for me, high-level stuff. If anybody has any questions for me, I will turn it over to Maurice to talk about some more specific things.
So I just want to say welcome. Welcome to
Thank you very much.
the district.
Appreciate
You're
the time.
welcome. So we know that we've had a chronic issue at one school in particular. And I don't know, I believe you were sitting here when I expressed the fact that when we have students that are late to one class over and over and over
absolutely.
again, it impacts their scores. And so what I will say is it's October and we're almost to November. My hope is that that school is seeing some resolve, because those parents have been more than patient with us. And those kids deserve better, and so do the teachers. They're trying to teach a class, right? And they have kids coming in 30 minutes late.
Right.
So the expectation was the next time that we saw you, there was a solution, and that we would not hear that we're still having that problem. That principal, that principal will do anything that they can to get their kids there. But I'm trying to understand if we figured out what the problem was and have we found a solution for that those 6 routes that were being affected, those 6 buses, was it, I believe it was 922A. The idea that I know them by heart is a problem. It really is, because that's how much I get called about it, from the parents and from Dr. Green alike. So I just want to make sure that, especially in that one situation, for that one school, because it has been so chronic, and those kids are getting to that class late routinely, that we've solved that issue. Have we?
It's a tier 3 school.
Understood.
That issue has been resolved. The issues were at the beginning of the school year, in an effort to reduce the number of routes and save Southfield Public Schools money. Some of our routes were too tight, and it primarily dealt with the special needs routing. It takes a little bit longer to route special needs kids in terms of wheelchairs coming down, kids being loaded, wheelchairs going up. They were just too tight. There was little room for error there. And we were getting a lot of calls from Levy, and we've got that under control now. I have not seen any emails recently or received any phone calls recently from those schools in reference to us being late. Now, that's not to say that we don't have some one-offs every now and then. We do. But at the beginning of the year, we had just made things too tight. Once we realized exactly what the issue was, we broke those routes down a little bit more, provided more leeway for issues that might come up and for loading and unloading. And I just haven't seen the emails lately. I used to see the emails coming through Paulette, going to Dr. Green all the time. And I just haven't seen that lately. Every meeting, every week when I meet with my team, I say, it's been since September the 18th that I've not seen any emails from Paulette with a message to me in regards to transportation issues, which are going directly to Dr. Green. So, yes. So keep my fingers crossed, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. And we do have some things that we continue to work on, but we've resolved that issue. You're welcome. I just had, just to briefly mention, because I know we only had 5 minutes, but we laid out a proposal last week, a transportation proposal for the mid-year school split. It was a collaborative effort between the assistant principal, the principal, Rebecca Luddington, my staff, Joe Curris was there, and we believe we have a very good plan for the mid-year school split. Now, it is the initial pass, the first draft. We have some time to work with, but all walkers are going to be routed. All buses are going to pick up all kids. They're going to pick up all kids simultaneously to make certain that the bigger kids don't get picked up first and the smaller kids are at the stop. We're going to pick up kids wherever they're supposed to go, and all of the buses, once they pick up, they're going to drop off at both schools. Okay?
So-
all of that's in the works.
Yes, so
It'll
he's
be on
speaking
my
to the
star.
move management piece that I'll address and give some additional information for those families. Yep.
And the routing will be out there for the parents to see on December the 15th. So, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate your partnership.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, in the interest of time, we will move directly into our staffing update. This should look familiar to our audience as well as our trustees. This is our most recent update. We have had some shifts in a few buildings because, in accordance with our CBA, we've had some positions become available and we have to post them internally first, and thus we've had a few dominoes happening throughout the district. But we've also had some positions being filled. So at Adler, we've had some filled, thus we have the 2 positions still available, the ASD teacher and the speech pathologist. Next school is that of McIntyre. Those 2 we knew would be filled by the long-term subs because those were 2 part-time positions there for the duration of this year and the sunset of that campus. Moving on to Stevenson, they just have the 1 position remaining. That is the secretary position. The second grade position that was newly created based on numbers has been filled by an internal candidate, thus creating the backfill needed, now necessary at Bernie. You'll see that as the 3rd bullet. That person in the second grade has now transferred to Stevenson. We still have the EI vacancy that is being filled by the ISSN team member and the ASD vacancy. Moving on to that of Thompson. We are still in need of a science teacher. That has been one of our most challenging positions to fill. We do have a sub there, and Principal Eubanks and Principal Ector AP Ector are doing a great job with assisting and manning that class. One thing that Summer didn't mention is when we have long-term subs in positions, the instructional team goes over to ensure that those substitutes have lessons created by our instructional team. So those subs are not on their own having to create lessons for our scholars. So that team is supporting there at Thompson as well as the other. Levy has 1 ASD vacancy, but you can see that a candidate has been identified there. Moving on to Southfield A&T, we have the ASD vacancy. We have a secondary transition coordinator. The bookkeeper, we had a candidate. That candidate has since declined the offer, and we have the 1 resource teacher there, which is starting next Monday. We are happy to see that. At University, we have the Spanish teacher vacancy. We've had teachers, and then the offers fall through. I know last time when we spoke, I told you had someone starting. I told you I'd tell you when they were starting, but unfortunately, that person was not able to start that position. So we are back interviewing for that. The vocal position or the music teacher position accepted a transfer to A&T. Thus, we are losing that music teacher starting next week. And then the second grade teacher, that person requested a transfer to Levy. We are in the process of looking to onboard 1 of our retired teachers to fill that second grade position in a timely manner. With KLC, we have the 2 SXI teachers and the 1 social worker position, and both are filled by our partners. And then at Bussey, which you'll hear from next, we have 2 speech pathologists. All of our scholars are receiving services through our support partner, 2 ECSC positions, and 1 EIV, which is early intervention vacancy.
Dr. Green, where are we at with the executive
Interviews
director?
are Thursday. The final
Okay.
interviews are Thursday.
Okay. All right.
And we do have the ISSN position filled, and that person will start on 11/6.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I invite Dr. Kelly Wash. For those of you that have not had an opportunity to meet her, she is our newest director of Bussey Early Childhood Center. Dr. Kelly Wash. We welcome you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, good evening, Superintendent Green. I'll just, we have the presentation. Okay, well, good evening, Superintendent Green, Board President Ashanti Bland, and all those who serve Southfield Public Schools Board of Education. My name is Ursula Kelly Wash, and I'm happy to serve as the interim director at Bussey Center for Early Childhood Education. Do I advance? Okay.
Is it working? There you go.
All right, you're moving.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So as you know, we've had a great deal of transition at Bussey. And just to create a positive and atmosphere, we have a theme this year in our staff, and teachers are very excited about our One Team, One Dream. So at Bussey, we believe that our teachers and our staff are working together to provide a high-quality academic and social experience for the district's youngest scholars to excel in kindergarten and beyond. And for most of you, you know that Bussey, our motto is "College Begins at Bussey." And that theme is interwoven throughout all of our classrooms and the hallways. So we're excited to have people visit and see the exciting things that are happening in our classrooms and how learning is being supported by our teachers. Okay, so since this is the first meeting, I just wanted to talk about our mission statement because, as you know, our mission statement, it drives our learning, it drives our passion for teaching. And so at Bussey, we're our Bussey Center for Early Childhood Education. We're committed to providing an inclusive, quality, comprehensive program which promotes a peaceful learning environment. And we embody integrity, compassion, and respect as we are supporting children and families and staff by listening, observing, valuing, and encouraging homeschool collaborations. And that's all embodied by love and respect for our students and our teachers. That's how we really empower our students to learn and thrive and prepare them for future learning. So just here's an outline of what I'm going to kind of go over this evening. We are going to talk about our enrollment data, our ADA, our average daily attendance, our CACFP, a meal report, our monitoring reports through health and safety, the education report, family engagement, and our upcoming events at Bussey. So as you can see, the chart basically kind of talks about our enrollment, our current enrollment. As you can see, we have 3 programs at Bussey: Early Head Start, and GSRP, which stands for our Great Start Readiness Program. And it's kind of, our kids in Early Head Start, they age out of the program. So even though the numbers are reporting that we have 14 enrolled, we really have 16 because we have kids who are transitioning. So when Early Head Start students who are like 2 years old, when they're transitioning to a new classroom, they do it in small bites. So each day throughout the week, they'll go for maybe an hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours. They're building capacity so that they can thrive in Head Start. So we actually do have 16 students because we'll have 2 more coming in soon. For Head Start, we have 54 students currently enrolled, and for GSRP, 72. We do have a wait list for our Early Head Start. It's a very popular program at Bussey. Many people want to have their infants and young toddlers in our Early Head Start program. And we pride ourselves because we're not just about care, we're about academics as well. In our Head Start, we have 10 vacancies, and for GSRP, we have 25. And so we're actively trying to build up those 2 for Head Start and GSRP. We're having enrollment clinics, and the goal is for our family service workers to really kind of push out into the community on Fridays. So we are increasing our numbers weekly. Okay, next, our child and adult care food program. This, as you already know, nutrition is very important. It's one of the hallmarks of really just learning. And children who are well fed with nutritious food, they do well, they thrive in school. So, and also our CACFP program is not only about eating, it's about modeling good eating habits and how to eat properly for our students, because we encourage the teachers to also partake in, model eating as well. It's a family style meal, so children are learning how to serve themselves, how they're becoming independent with eating. And also, we really foster conversations. So we always have some type of talking points or strategies. And I'm in the classroom a lot during mealtime, and it's really a great time to ask questions and have the children learn how to properly engage in conversations during mealtime. So for breakfast during the month of September, we're proud to have served 1,036 students breakfast, adults 289. AM snack, students 198, adults 58 servings. Lunch, 1,052, and servings for lunch for our students, and for adults, 288. And for our afternoon snack, 918 servings were provided for our scholars, and for adults, 286. Okay, so next is our monitoring report. This is, you will always know that our students are getting what they need in the context of our classroom, because daily we have a daily health and safety checklist. So I go into the classrooms and I'm looking for, we have our green sheets, which are by each door. Scholars who exit classrooms must be documented, and as they return into the classroom, they must be documented back in as well. We have lesson plans throughout the room. At all of our classrooms, we have schedules. Anybody who walks into a classroom will see the daily schedule, parents as well. We have, let me go back to my notes. Excuse me. I should know this because I do it every day. But we have our sanitation tracker, how often our toys and materials are being cleaned. We have our lesson plan, our exit signs, our safety bags are displayed in the classroom. So anytime something is not position where it should be, a teacher will notify us. That's how we do our data tracking for our school dues as well, to make sure that our environment is at its best, to meet those Head Start performance standards as well. Okay. Oops. Not sure what's going on. Okay, so now here's our education report. The teachers at Bussey have been very busy. As you know, for Head Start and GSRP, they have to do a home visit. And this is where the teachers are, they go into the homes of our scholars and they build relationships with the parents. It's a wonderful opportunity for parents and teachers to set goals, to meet, the scholars before school starts, and to also to just have some shared agreements about learning. We had a wonderful parent orientation at Bussey, and this is where the teachers went over the logistics for teaching and learning and just some of the expectations. We're really trying to make sure that we meet our in-kind this year, and so we're having a lot of parent touch points throughout the year. Our curriculum night, since we are college begins at Bussey, we had Meet the Preschool Professor Night, which was well attended by our parents, and they were able to learn about the high scope curriculum, which is a research-based curriculum, even in the baby room. And parents could just learn more about our KDIs and how our scholars are being taught and how they're learning. We talked about the daily routine, our child observation record, which is core. That's how our scholars are being assessed. We talked about our high scope STEM kits, so science experiments were taking place on that day, even in the baby room. And we just had a preview. I really encouraged our parents, those in early Head Start, to visit classrooms in GSRP, and those who were in early Head Start to go to Head Start classrooms, just so that they know what the expectations are as they progress along at Bussey. Okay, so now, and we have many screeners and assessments for our young scholars. The Brigance screener, I'm happy to say this year we're going to have a pre-test and a post-test because just like Mrs. Caldwell Carruthers mentioned, it's important to be data-driven in everything and anything that we do. So the teachers submitted their scores on Monday, and we're going to kind of have some data digs and talk about where our scholars are and how to use that data to inform our small groups and how we can use that for teaching and learning. Also, our child observation record, which we have 4 periods throughout the year. Right now, we're in period 1, which ends in November, and it's driven by observations and teachers taking anecdotal notes. High Scope is a very holistic learning component where it's teacher facilitated and student initiated. So if students have questions or, they desire to learn certain things, that's how the teachers are developing the curriculum. And it's driven by our KDIs, which are our key developmental indicators, to track growth across the various content areas such as literacy, math, science, and social studies and approaches to learning. So our students are getting a very well-rounded foundation at Bussey. Okay, so our district-wide professional development day back in September, we had a pretty packed day. We talked about understanding cultural diversity. We learned about bloodborne pathogens, child abuse and neglect, mandated reporting, medicine administration, supporting scholars with seizures, asthma awareness, and so it was a packed day just to make sure our teachers are well prepared to support our students. Tomorrow, I'm happy to announce that Dr. Freeman will support us with our professional learning, giving us tips and strategies about what's developmentally appropriate, how to support students who may be have behavioral issues, and strategies for teachers and parents, and some really healthy conversations about that. So we're going to have a great learning day tomorrow at Bussey. I'm really happy to announce that I'm starting an E3 at Bussey program. It's called Educators Empowering Educators. And on Wednesdays when we have staff meetings, I don't want to always be the one talking or giving out information. I want our teachers to teach and coach their peers. And so every Wednesday for 5 to 7 minutes, we'll have teachers teaching and showing and demonstrating learning for their peers. Okay, next, just some of our family engagement highlights. We had a great time last week for our Donuts for Dads, a celebration of fatherhood and leadership. And it was a wonderful time for our fathers to come together and just talk about they were very, vulnerable about some of the struggles that they have as fathers and, what the vision and the opportunities that they want for their students. So it was a really powerful meeting. And we're going to have many of our fathers involved too. So they all signed up for different committees. We're going to have a Muffins for Moms event coming up. The theme, I'm Every Woman. We're going to have a fire safety house on the 23rd, and we're going to also have a Harvest Day celebration. And so I'm happy to announce everything that we're doing. We always have teachers who are on the committees because this is a learning process for them too, how to plan, implement, and to drive something from start to finish. Okay. We're going to skip that. Mrs. Rogers has given the report where we talked about it. And so at this time, I'm going to kind of show a little showcase of some of the things that we're learning at Bussey, small group. I don't know hopefully it will play. Just celebrating the joys and learning at Bussey. The joy of early childhood education, teaching and learning is reflected at Bussey when students and teachers foster curiosity through exploring and discovering the world around them, as they build relationships by creating a safe and nurturing environment. encourage creativity when scholars express their authentic selves through play and inquiry. And as they celebrate growth as young scholars, when they take their first steps and they say their first word. And when we get to the last picture, it's wonderful because, like I said, in all of our classrooms, we really do promote talking during the lunch experience, and we even do that in the baby room. So it's wonderful to see our young babies, babbling and, engaging in conversation as well. Just take a few more minutes. Seconds, I should say, not a few more minutes. We really are really trying to create critical thinking and inquiry and discovery in our classrooms. And so that's what you'll see as you're in the classrooms during small group and large group, and that's our babies. They're talking. Yeah. So at this time, I would like to thank Superintendent Green for her encouragement and support, and Dr. Freeman for her support and encouragement, and Mrs. Rogers. I don't think she is here right now, but I've had some great support. This has been a journey at Bussey, and we're going to continue and do our best so that our scholars are well prepared for kindergarten and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are there any questions?
Anyone?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Green, move management?
Yes, so we're striking the legislative update because Treasurer Belk will be speaking to some of those points later. Move management, I just wanted to remind the parents of our Bernie students that tomorrow there will be a webinar to discuss the move occurring mid-year at Bernie to the 2 Airbnbs to service our scholars for a second semester. So please tune in. I know we have one here on our board to that meeting on tomorrow, and Tyler will send out another push or work with Principal Baldwin to send out another push with that information. That's
Thank you,
all.
Dr. Green.
Thank you.
Public participation. If you wish to address the board regarding a school-related issue that has not yet been resolved by school administration, please submit a comment card immediately. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention any persons by name. Complaints concerning employees pursuant to Board Policy 9130 should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the Board of Education. Your cooperation is appreciated. Ms. Cheryl Timms. Good evening, Ms. Timms. Will you please state your address for the record?
Let's see, I live at 23870 Lawn Road, number 2103 in Southfield, Michigan, 48033.
Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
President Bland, trustees, student representatives, Dr. Green, and everyone here in the audience tonight. I am Cheryl Timms, and I am representing the Optimist Club of Southfield Lathrop Village. Our club has been serving the community and doing our very best since May of 1979 to bring out the best in our kids. Our club has many programs. We even have a great section in a book that is a tribute to President Obama that mainly talks about Southfield kids and our programs. Every year, try to let you know first, before it hits the newspapers and social media and everything, what programs we're going to be sponsoring for the school year or the Optimist year. And this year, we are already engaged to have our essay contests. All of these programs come associated with cash awards and scholarships. So the essay contest for this year, the theme is how my acts of service help me understand what my community means to me. There is no minimum age limit for anyone to be in the contest, but the student cannot have exceeded its 19th birthday before October 1st of this year. We have cash awards for first, second, and third place. Little gift cards, a couple of $100 here, $100 there. But the big money comes from the district level, and that first place winner of an essay contest, that scholarship is for $2,500. And it's just to write an essay. We have had winners from Southfield Public Schools in the past who've won the district level, as well as second and third place. We have decided, just so that everyone is aware, that we were not going to offer the oratorical contest this year. It has been really extremely difficult to get participation. I think a lot of it has to do with maybe a change in some of the classes that are offered in the district, like maybe no drama classes or public speaking and things like that. But if you want us to do oratorical, we will certainly do it. It is one of our signature programs. But this year, and I'd like to tell the school board first, the audience, the presence, the parents, first before we go to social media and then go to Southfield Sun and have the article. So thank you all so very much for supporting us for 46 years.
Thank you, Ms.
And just delighted to be here, as always, and we're here to do our very best.
Thank you. Khadijah Hawkins. Ms. Hawkins, will you please state your address when you get to the podium?
Good evening. My name is Khadijah Hawkins. I don't feel comfortable leaving my address. I'm in Southfield, Michigan. I have two concerns. I have two children, one at elementary as well as one at Levy Middle School. Route 22 has been late or not picked up multiple times. It's getting dark outside. It's 10 to 12 kids that's at that stop every day. I understand what transportation said up here, but I call every day. I've left voicemails for the superintendent. I've actually emailed Mr. Jackson. Something has to be done for that. And as far as elementary school goes, I have a daughter at Adler Elementary. She was involved in a school bus accident on Thursday of last week. It was not emailed like any other accidents or activities that happen. And that's the problem. I shouldn't have to call transportation to tell you that my child was in an accident because she calls me frantic. The bus driver allegedly hit somebody or somebody allegedly hit them. My child is suffering from a mild concussion currently. And what can be done about this? Because no one has took the initiative to reach out to us. The principal dean has to call transportation to let people know that these kids were in an accident. This is unacceptable for people who actually rely on this transportation. My daughter don't even want to get on a bus anymore. At 8 years old, that shouldn't be a fear of hers. So I'm asking for you guys to do something because it's just unacceptable. The transportation is supposedly having an app that will be able to track these buses. None of the schools know about it. How can you provide information to concerned parents when their kids are standing outside at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning? I have a child that leaves on the bus at 7:30 and I have to sit out there until the Levy bus comes, which sometimes does not come. When the bus does arrive, I should not have to have a bus driver ask me where this address is. Something needs to be done. So please help me because I rely on y'all to get my kids to and from. I don't want to pull my children from Southfield Public Schools, but if this continues to be a problem, I have to do what I have to do to advocate for my kids and make sure that they are getting the education that they deserve. So please keep that in mind.
I know I wasn't just the only person that stood here and heard that man tell me everything was fixed.
65 people, he don't. I poured.
And that is why I lifted it, for that very reason. That is why I lifted it, because I get the calls to my personal phone, my email. And as far as the accident and to the trustees, would you allow me to address this piece? I am concerned that nothing went out to the community regarding the school bus accident. For that, I apologize. I'm normally very aware of what goes out, and we were made aware of it. Not sure why anything didn't go out to the parents, but on behalf of the district, we apologize for that. The board was made aware after it happened. I believe that our stance was it's common sense that you send something, or I would have preferred a call, since it was just one bus, to our parents. So we take full accountability for that. I do, and this board does. I can speak for us. It won't happen again. As far as the bus is concerned, as you heard, we addressed it, but we'll follow up with that. And I do speak to the principal, and many parents actually call me and let me know about this. As far as you not getting a response from the district and/or transportation, unacceptable, but you can always reach me. Email me. I'm Ashanti Bland. My email is right there. I email everyone back.
So I called the school.
Okay.
Because it's too many kids for me. I can't pick them up.
I understood.
But I call the school every day. I speak to the attendance person, and she sends you an email on my.
Miss Tabor, yes, she does.
Yes.
And I forward those emails on. And I follow up with Miss Tabor. That's how I know your route, but your bus, I called it out. I know I called 22 out. And we shouldn't have to. So we'll update you, tomorrow with the solution, okay?
As far as the accident
Mhm.
goes, because I'm taking my child, she's been urgent.
We had no idea that there were any injuries from that bus accident.
Because that bus, the EMS and stuff did not come before her dad came and got her off that bus. I talked to them until they picked her up. She said she had a headache. She started being dizzy after the fact that we took her to urgent care. So that's when I contacted transportation. I didn't talk to Mr. Jackson. I talked to one of the switchboard operators.
So Mr. Jackson doesn't work in transportation, which is why you probably didn't speak
Not
with
Mr.
him.
Jackson, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I got an email, right?
Oh, Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson.
Okay,
Yes.
understood.
Mr. Johnson did not contact me until Monday morning after I sent the email.
Okay.
That's unacceptable. And I'm still waiting on a response today as to what is the protocol as to my daughter is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the school every day. She don't want to get on the bus. What can be done about that? Because that's her.
I can't give you an answer to what we can do at the fact that she doesn't want to get on a bus. What those options look like, I will have to talk to the superintendent. That's something we'll have to take offline, because I can't give you an answer if I don't have one, and I don't believe in making any promises to people. So
my ask would be that
we have your
Mr. Jackson is right behind you,
That is
that he
Mr.
gets your
Jackson.
contact information, and then we will follow up with you on tomorrow regarding this matter. I will personally. So that's what I'll follow. He'll give me your contact information, and we will follow up with you on that aspect of it. Absolutely. Thank you.
action items, consent agenda, approval of minutes for September 23rd, 2025, special board meeting study session. Is there a motion to open and approve?
I motion that we open the consent agenda.
It's been properly moved and supported. Are there any discussions surrounding this? Hearing none. Vice President, whenever you're ready, please call for the vote.
Trustee Belt.
Yes.
Trustee Bland.
Yes.
Trustee Denson.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6415, Sustainable Design Standards for New Construction and Major Renovations. This is the second read. Trustees, you all received this at our last meeting. We had no objections or revisions. This is considered the second read. Is there a motion to open and approve Report 6415?
So moved.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Benson?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6419, Personnel Action Report. Trustees, you had the Personnel Action Report sent to you over in your packet. You have one in your binder as well. Whenever you're ready, if there is a motion to open and approve.
I motion that we open and approve Personnel Action Report 6419.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Is 3 and 4 a repeat?
A repeat?
It's the same.
Are we looking at, is there a difference in title?
I'm looking at the notes.
Look at the date. So one was effective August 19th, and then the individual did an internal transfer to the other location.
And replacing someone else?
On October 13th.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Whenever you're ready, Vice President.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Benson?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Information items. Report 6420, Abatement Services at Bernie K-8, Doran Associates, Bond Funds.
Do you want
Yep.
21, 22?
Yep. So trustees, and Dr. Green, are you asking that we make these actionable this evening? For full transparency, on Monday, myself and Vice President Wirdaball actually sat in on the construction meeting. You all received a litany of emails regarding what we saw, and at my request, I asked Dr. Green to send you information so that you would have it previous to coming to the table. So what we're gonna do is we are going to have our associates from Plant Moran, Dan and TJ, which you're very familiar with, come forward. Luckily, we sent you a synopsis of all of this, so you actually got it really in real time as it was happening yesterday. So I'll ask TJ and Dan if you would not mind going through Report 6420, Report 6421, Report 6422, 6423, and are we gonna go through 24 and 25 as well? 24 and 25, and then we'll do 26 separately because that's coming out of general funds. Good evening.
Good evening. All right, so to give a synopsis, 6420 is the abatement services at Bernie. That is for the actual abatement contractor that will do the removal. The recommendation is brought forward by Arch Environmental is for Doran Associates. 6421 is environmental consultant services for Arch Environmental. This is an abatement to their contract for the actual asbestos coordination, air monitoring, and their professional services for that location. Report or action item 6422, geotechnical services. This is in regards to University K-12 and Southfield High School for Arts and Technology. G2 is the consultant for that particular item. It is amendment number 3. What this is in regards to is infiltration testing, which is a requirement for both city and county for the site work that is being done at the locations. Similarly, we have item 6423, French Associates Amendment number 7 for them. Infiltration testing at that location, which will be performed by SME, who's working on those particular sites. And this is for the site work at Bernie K-12 or K-8, Levy Middle School, and Thompson K-8. Again, for the site work that will be occurring at those locations. So anyone that has any questions in regards to those items? No, not yet. No, did 20 through 23. Okay, no problems. Does anyone have any questions on those? Okay. Okay. 24, hand over to Dan.
Item 24 primarily is for the VW Labs proposal for both Adler Elementary and Stevenson Elementary. The objective would be the renovations of the rooms and the adaptation of the equipment needed for those labs.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's the one she's waiting on. All right, so the next one is 6425. 6425 is in regards to Southfield A&T, and it's the relocation of JWE offices over to the O-House portion of the building, as well as the temporary relocation for University 912 students for their time for their Airbnb. There are some code requirements that would require additional fire protection be extended to that portion of the building, as well as an extension or replacement of the water main for that building because it is overtaxed. The AE had been working diligently to see if there were ways to not have to incur these additional costs. They finally got an opportunity to actually meet with the state plan reviewers. State plan reviewers walked through it, gave their ruling on it, and so hence the reason that this is now coming before the board.
I appreciated the conversation that was having and the accountability that went toward it because we did talk about what are alternatives, what does timing look like, and one of the bigger things that we had a conversation about was state versus county versus city approvals. I can tell you one thing that they all made it clear that this was not foreseeable. And so this $1.5 million that we are going to be removing, and Treasurer Belk will speak to a couple of these things because you all saw she communicated and asked about the reallocation of the funds, and we did find a way to kind of insulate having to take this from any other projects to be able to do it. So this one, we definitely will be asking, as well as the others, for it to become actionable tonight. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew this was a large chunk of money that no one could see coming, but the conversation was healthy and it all made sense. We have to do it. There's no way around it.
And in terms of funding source, the recommendation is that there are earned interest dollars that have been received for the bond based on your Series 1 sale. Those earned interest earnings do have to be used towards bond-related projects. So we've looked at the report that came over for PFM. You have the monies available via that means, which means that it does not impact contingencies or scope from other projects that are remaining.
And everyone has that in your email. Dr. Green explained it in totality. Report 6426 is going to be standalone because it's general funds, trustees. I spoke earlier and said that report 6420 through report 6225, there is a request due to timing that these be made actionable. Is there a motion on the floor to open and approve report 6420, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25?
I motion that we open and approve report 6420. 6421, 6422, 6423, 6424, and 6425.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, whenever you're ready, please call for the vote.
Trustee Bell? Yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Denson?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6426, award recommendation for the Southfield A&T basement cleanout. This is coming out of general funds. Dr. Green?
Thank you, Board President. Mr. Corrs is here this evening. We asked that he obtain 3 quotes to clean out the basement of Southfield A&T. Unfortunately, the dungeon has become just that. Over the last 50 years, people have placed multiple items in the basement of Southfield A&T, and it has accumulated over the last 50 years. Therefore, now that we know better, we have to do better. We have to clean out that area before we do any renovations on that school. So these are the 3 quotes that Mr. Corrs received. And Mr. Corrs, I believe you are requesting that we approve the one for $48,000.
Trustees, this is in your packet. $50,000 to clean out a basement.
For 50 years worth of debris. $1,000 a year.
You know, my only thing is this. Hopefully, we don't have to end up back in this position as we build these new buildings, because this is unreal. Trustees, Joe, is this a timing thing for you? Do you need this to be done expeditiously? Understood.
Because of the construction
Yep.
that's being done today.
I get it.
There will be some recovery, there's some
Things
stainless
that,
steel
I
will-
figured that.
We'll get some, but it won't.
And I will ask that if we are able to salvage, sell, or refurbish any of those items, that once this is complete, we do get a report to hear what we could do. Thank you. Trustees, you've heard the request of our COO. He is asking that we make report 6426 actionable this evening. Is there a motion on the floor?
I motion that we open and approve report 6426, award recognition to clean out the basement.
Support.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Denson?
Yes.
Trustee Bell? Yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes. Unanimous, motion carried.
Sorry, yes.
Thank you.
And I did wish to lift that a lot of it is due to the labor costs, because there's no elevator to take these items. So they're going to be doing a lot of manual labor to bring it up.
Financial report, monthly bill disbursement, Board Treasurer.
Good evening, everyone. I just think about how many scholarships we could have given to kids. We're using it to clean up. Okay, so the financial report, we have quite a few things happening right now. As Dr. Green mentioned, she can fill in the blanks about the new state aid budget exposures. There have been an email sent out this evening from Tyler to discuss some of those things. It's a risk. The long-term impact of shutdown of the federal government continues to be a risk to our district, so we want to keep lifting it every single time until it's resolved. TJ did a good job of talking about reallocating the funds, because that was a huge risk that we had down. So not so much a risk, because we'll be using the earned interest funds, and it does not impact our contingency, which is really, really important. And it was good to see that we got the information over, because we have a little more than enough. So that makes me feel comfortable that it's not zero. So that's great. I am going to do a few updates that I received. And again, Dr. Green probably know more about this, can jump in, but Section 31AA, this is the mass casualty investigation requirement. This is some of our exposure to the new state aid. It makes acceptance of school safety or mental health funding contingent on agreeing to 2 things. Those two things is a governor-appointed investigation in the event of a mass casualty event, or a waiver of all privileges and immunities granting investigators broad access to records and personnel. One of the concerns that we have with that is that it removes governmental immunity, expose our district to significant liability and insurance conflicts, overly broad executive authority with no appeal or a real defined process. So that's something we did want to lift today. And the last thing we wanted to lift was Section 21F, repeal the loss of virtual day flexibility that eliminates previous language permitting up to 15 virtual instructional days annually for testing, professional development up to 30 hours, or any emergency. The concern that we have here is it'll be eliminating key flexibility district use for coordinating testing and PD. It might lead to calendar extensions or mid-year schedule changes. So we wanted to lift that, and I actually did go through all of our check registers and everything looks perfectly fine. And that concludes the report of the financial report.
Thank you. Trustees, for the good of the order. I just have one thing. Moving forward, if there is an accident of a bus in this district, the expectation is that a communication be sent to the families of the children on that bus, and that a representative from the district administration, not the Board of Education, be present to make sure that we have any supports for the building leaders, the bus driver, and of course, our scholars and their families. To those on that bus, I do apologize. That was a horrible oversight, and I feel horrible about it. Moving forward, for the good of the order, there will be a forum for young people. We talk about civics and understanding voting government, held at Adler Elementary on the 23rd, I believe. We do have a flyer for that, since it will be happening in our district. So to those young people who are interested in hearing from our candidates in our city, county, state, please know that'll be taking place at Adler. Also, to the parents, please govern yourselves accordingly in our parking lots, on our campuses, in our buildings. There's been an uptick of bad behavior. And unfortunately, when parents behave badly, we kick you out too. And we have no problem doing it. You will be banned from our buildings, and Mr. Jackson will do a thorough investigation, and then he'll ban you. And so we just want to make sure that everyone understands that just because you're adults, you're not exempt from accountability. Other than that, there's no school tomorrow, everybody. Please don't put your baby on the bus tomorrow, because the bus not coming. Don't drop your baby off at school. We're in PD. I know it's a Wednesday and we get in our routines and tend to forget, but there is no school tomorrow, everyone. We have a special board meeting on October 28th. November 4th is Election Day. The district is closed. Many of our locations are polling locations. And then, of course, Tuesday, November 11th is our regular board meeting at 7 p.m. Bernie families, please don't forget, tomorrow there is an informational meeting about the move that will be taking place at the very beginning of the year. Families, it's at 6 o'clock, 5:30. Is it in the gym?
No, it's a virtual platform.
It's a
to
virtual,
afford them
okay.
more people an
And the
opportunity
link
to
was
join.
sent out is the link posted on our website by any chance?
The link was sent out by Principal Baldwin in her weekly update, and we sent out separate email
Okay.
reminders to the Bernie families specifically.
For sure. Parents, if you do not have that link, please contact someone at Bernie K8, or feel free to contact someone here at the district. We'll get the link sent out to you. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the order? Hearing none, we wish the best to our trustees who are not feeling well this evening. Everybody, please stay safe. COVID is back on the rise, as many of you know. Wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, wear a mask. We are adjourned at 9:15.